the center of freedom and wealth. But have you seen the cracks under those shiny skyscrapers? This video won't just show you a city's transportation system. This video will take you underground. What's underneath? Deformed rails? Yes, there are. People hiding in dark tunnels? Yes, there are. But there's more. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more similar videos. We will introduce you to 10 invisible and dangerous problems of the New York subway. The topics are ranked from the easiest and most known to the most difficult and unknown. Each one will change your perspective. Each topic is interconnected, so don't skip ahead. If you're ready, let's begin. Behind NY presents. Homelessness, the city sheltered in the metro. Every night, thousands of people, families, children, veterans, lose their homes and seek refuge in subway stations. For them, these places are a refuge, sometimes even their last hope. A mother and child sitting on a bench with an old blanket and a plastic bag. This image is no longer the exception. The lack of social housing and the constant rise in rent prices are forcing many people underground into the subway. In Lower Manhattan, these homeless people have become an invisible people, completely isolated from society. Their lives are a daily struggle and loneliness. There is no psychological support, security is poor, and their only defense is trying to be invisible. 2. Mental health. Passengers who walk like bombs. You are sitting quietly on the subway and suddenly the person in front of you is yelling and screaming, attacking someone. This has become a daily occurrence. The mental health crisis is evident in every subway station. Those who are shouting, those who are in a position to harm themselves and others. These are people who have already been ostracized by the system. And worst of all, many of these people were once working, tax-paying, family-oriented people. Now the lack of psychological support and shelter is destroying them in front of everyone. 3. Everyday life in fear. Unseen reality on the subway. The New York subway was once the lifeblood of the city. Now for many, it has become a tunnel of fear. It is not only a place of physical violence, but also a center of psychological oppression. Everyone looks at each other suspiciously or not at all. Travelers are constantly on guard. A bag, a glance, a quietly changing posture. Anything can be a sign of danger. People put on their headphones, look down and try to detach themselves from the reality of the subway. Fear in the subway is not only about violence, it's about fear becoming a normal part of everyday life. Every subway ride is like a mental test. Whether it's the sudden scream of a homeless person or the paranoia that emerges in the silence, it's no longer a journey, but a race of endurance. 4. Delays, where time still lies. The train is late. This sentence is not just an ordinary complaint in New York, it is life itself. It's not only trains that are late, people are late too, to work, to a wedding, to their children's school. Just because a signal panel hasn't been replaced in 40 years, people can miss the most important moment of their lives. In just 1 month of 2024, 27,000 delays were recorded. Sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes 45. But in this city, 5 minutes is as precious as a life. The old signaling system of the New York subway sometimes paralyzes entire lines. The saddest thing is that this is now considered normal. People stand silently on the platform, eyes on the clock, minds scrambling. And until the train arrives, this city stands still a little longer. Time dies a little more. 5th, hygiene, the smelly reality of the subways. Anyone who rides the New York subways sometimes encounters not only noise and crowds, but also unpleasant smells and sights. The cleanliness of the system is often inadequate. Garbage accumulating in the corners of stations, stains on the floors, the occasional rat, and sometimes it is possible to encounter hazardous waste and used items. This is no longer just an aesthetic problem, but a serious risk to public health and safety. Metro workers sometimes have to deal with this alone. Due to low salaries and lack of resources, many stations are not cleaned properly. And as a result, the metro of one of the largest cities in the world is turning into an environment that sometimes becomes uninhabitable. Staff crisis. Trains available, no drivers. New York subways are ready, but there are no drivers. The reason? Lack of drivers. This year alone, the system is struggling with a shortage of 1,700 drivers. When do you think this crisis started? More importantly, why hasn't anyone spoken up yet? If there is silence on the train, Maybe it is because there is no one driving it. There are many reasons for this: low pay, increased stress and danger, lack of psychological support. And the most unfortunate is that the training program for new drivers is also being canceled due to budget cuts. The truth about the mole people: thousands of people living under the New York subways, some of whom haven't seen daylight for years, are called the mole people. They live a secret life deep in the tunnels, in dangerous places. Do you think there's a real underground city? Answer: yes. And this city lives in these tunnels. Why were they forced to go underground? For them, the proximity of power lines is their stove, old train tracks are their bed, and the ground is their wall. These informal communities exist not on the fringes of society, but beneath it. There are no social services, no medical care, no legal protection. Their existence is not even recorded in official documents. They are invisible, and perhaps this is the greatest injustice done to them. Invisible accidents, disasters that happen quietly. What is the most dangerous danger? The invisible. Dozens of accidents happen every year on the New York subway, but most go unreported. Where does the subway take you? To your destination or to a disaster? What if the under repair sign actually means danger? Old rails, rusty screws, faulty electrical systems, and they fix them with temporary solutions. But this temporary lasts for years. The result? Human lives are put at risk. In 2023, there were 24 officially recorded accidents, but the unofficial figures are double, because some accidents are not included in the statistics under the name of administrative solutions. The New York subway is not just a means of transportation, it is a mirror that reflects every forgotten soul, every ignored crack, every silent scream buried beneath the surface. In the darkness of these tunnels, we find more than rusted rails and flickering lights. We find a city's hidden truths. Every broken escalator, every dim station, and every person forced to live underground reveals something deeper, a system failing quietly, right under our feet. So ask yourself, are these stories just about New York? Or do they echo in the shadows of every major city where wealth and poverty collide inches apart, separated only by a train's roar? Maybe the real story of a city isn't written in skyscrapers or tourist spots, but in its shadows. Because sometimes the truth doesn't shine, it hides. If this video made you think, even a little, don't forget to subscribe, share it with someone, and join me in this journey to uncover the stories the light doesn't reach. We'll keep digging, we'll keep asking, because cities don't just rise, they also sink.